Hey there and welcome. Look, we use it every single day. For work, for fun, to connect with pretty much everyone we know. But have you ever stopped to ask, what is the internet, really? And wait, how is that different from the World Wide Web? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify the digital world that you and I live in every day. Okay, let's get right into it. It really feels like it's just always been here, right? But it hasn't. The internet has this absolutely fascinating origin story. And you might be surprised to hear it didn't start in a garage in Silicon Valley. Nope. It started inside the US military, right at the height of the Cold War. So to really understand the internet, we have to go back to the beginning. Back to its pretty surprising origin, a military project that was built to survive a worst-case scenario.
So, the story kicks off in 1969 with something called ARPANET. It was a US defense project with a really smart idea: create a communication network so resilient it could keep universities and military bases talking even if there was a major attack. This thing grew fast. By 1973, it went international, linking up with places in England and Norway. Then, in the mid-80s, the science world kind of took over with NSFNet, this super powerful new backbone that connected supercomputers. But, and this is key, it was strictly for research, no businesses allowed. The real game changer came in the 90s. The government stepped back, ARPANET was shut down, and commercial traffic was finally given the green light. And boom, the internet just exploded into the public space that we all know today.
And when I say exploded, I mean it. This chart gives you a sense of it. Back around 2006, only about half of all households in the US were even online. I mean, think about that. Now, fast forward to today, that number has just skyrocketed to over 95%, mostly thanks to our phones and super-fast fiber connections. What started as a niche thing for academics and nerds became an essential utility for basically everyone.
And that mission to connect everyone? It's not over, not by a long shot. While places like the US are almost fully connected, the next big frontier is true global access. You've got companies launching literally thousands of satellites into orbit to beam high-speed internet down to every last corner of the globe, from the most remote villages to the middle of the ocean. The ultimate goal is to connect the entire world.
Okay, so we've established there's this massive global network of connected computers. Great, but what do we actually do on it? Let's break down some of the major services that actually run on top of the internet's infrastructure. And this brings us to probably the single most important distinction we're going to make today. The internet and the World Wide Web, they are not the same thing. I want you to think of the internet as the physical infrastructure, right? It's the global network of roads and highways. The web, which was invented by Tim Berners-Lee back in 1993, is all the content, the websites, the pages, the videos that travel on those highways. You use the internet to get to the web.
And before most of us were even browsing the web, we were using email. It was one of the internet's very first killer apps. I mean, it was revolutionary. The ability to send a message or a document to anyone, anywhere in the world, instantly, that was a huge deal. It's still a core part of our digital lives. It's just evolved from simple text into the powerful platforms we use now.
What's so cool is that the internet's basic functions haven't really gone away. They've just evolved. Those early discussion boards, they were called newsgroups, they basically grew up to become Reddit. FTP, or File Transfer Protocol, that was the original way we move files around. Well, that's the granddaddy of cloud storage like Dropbox. And those old IRC chat rooms and instant messengers from the 90s, they are the direct ancestors of the Discord servers and WhatsApp groups we're all in today.
Now, another service that completely changed the game was peer-to-peer file sharing. You might remember platforms like Napster. They let users connect their computers directly to each other to share files, totally bypassing a central hub. But this came with a huge, huge catch. Sharing copyrighted stuff like music and movies without permission is illegal, and it can have some really serious legal consequences.
So we know what the internet is, we know what we can do on it, but how do you actually get your computer or your phone hooked up to this global network? Let's talk about the on-ramps to the information superhighway. That on-ramp is your Internet Service Provider, or ISP. The easiest way to think about them is like your electric company. You don't make your own electricity, right? You pay a company for access to the power grid. It's the exact same idea here. An ISP is the company you pay to get a connection to the internet.
And oh man, has the quality of that connection changed. Many of us can still hear that awful screeching sound of a dial-up modem connecting over a phone line. A time when downloading one song could take like 10 minutes. Today's broadband connections, whether that's fiber optics, cable, or 5G, are hundreds, sometimes thousands of times faster. We're talking speeds that allow for perfect video streaming and instant downloads. It's a different world.
All right, now for the magic trick. What is actually happening in those few seconds between you clicking a link and a brand new web page just appearing on your screen? It's this incredible, high-speed dance of requests and responses happening behind the scenes.
It seems instant, but it really happens in about 5 quick steps. First, you give your browser an address. 2, your browser zips a request over to a web server somewhere in the world. 3, that server finds the exact file you asked for. 4, it sends the page's underlying code back to your computer. And finally, number 5, your browser reads that code and builds the web page you see. All of that happens in the blink of an eye. It's wild.
So, what is this code that the server sends back? It's called HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is the fundamental blueprint for almost every web page out there. It's not scary. It just uses these simple little tags to tell your browser stuff like, hey, make this a headline, or this part is a paragraph, or put an image right here.
And that address you type into the browser, that has a name too. It's a URL, or Uniform Resource Locator. And just like a street address for a house, every single part of that URL helps guide your browser to the exact right server and the exact right page you're looking for. It is the unique address for every single thing online.
Now, back in the day, if you wanted to watch a video or play a game, your browser needed extra little helper programs called plugins. You might remember things like Flash. It was kind of clunky. But the modern web has moved way past that. Now, thanks to new standards, streaming video and audio is just built right in. Services send you content in tiny little chunks, which is why you can start watching or listening almost instantly. Okay, so we have access to billions and billions of pages on the World Wide Web. This is fantastic, but it also creates a massive problem. In this endless, unorganized space, how on earth do you find anything?
In the early days, we tried to organize the web like a giant library, using these human-edited directories. But the web just grew way too fast for anyone to keep up. The real solution was the search engine. These things use powerful little software spiders that automatically crawl the web 24/7 and index everything they find. So now, you just type in a few words, and a powerful algorithm finds what you need in a fraction of a second.
But it is really important to be a smart searcher. When you're looking at results and you see some at the very top that are labeled sponsored or ad, just remember that a company paid money to be there. It doesn't mean it's the best or most relevant answer to your question, just that they paid for that top spot.
And hey, you can become a real power user with just a few simple tricks. If you put a phrase in quotes, you'll search for those exact words in that exact order. Using words like "and" can help you combine different ideas. These little techniques can make a huge difference in the quality of your results and save you a ton of time.
So let's wrap up with the main takeaway. The internet is the network, the infrastructure connecting us all. The web is the universe of information that flows on that network. Understanding that difference and how it all works is really the first step to becoming a smarter, more empowered digital citizen. I mean, from its secret military origins to the device that's in your hand right now, this network has completely reshaped our world. The real question is, what are we going to build with it next?